Welcome back to Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me, getting back to the mailbag and your questions. Keep in mind, I'd be glad to answer one of your questions on the air. Just one rule. Make sure that that question addresses more than one person. If it's a personal need, just go to my website, scottferrell.com or info@scottferrell.com. If you got a question for me, 706-889-9700, or send us an email, questions@scottferrell.com. I was flipping through Facebook a second ago. Yeah, I flipped through it too because I gotta pick up questions. I gotta see what's going on, and this has got nothing to do with the mailbag, but it is something that's disturbing to me. I don't know where you are on the abortion mix. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about, politics here, but it is a fact-checked article about Ruth Bader Ginsburg and the fact that she believes that abortion is a way to get rid of undesirables in society. Okay, lots of books out there that we read in high school and college connected to that. I think it's sad that someone would be that stupid to say that in public. Okay, you're on the Supreme Court. Have enough sense to keep your mouth shut. But if you really feel that way, what's frightening is you're on the Supreme Court. I don't see that as a way just to get rid of undesirables. I don't see kids as undesirables. I see what we make them into. I don't see a child who's born perfectly by God into the world, who is programmed to be an undesirable. Kids don't arrive here ready to destroy the world. We adults, we parents do a great job of teaching them that. But if they arrive on the scene, they're ready to go as people and they're ready to be successful. So for that blatant of a statement to actually address your hatred for what you perceive is an undesirable is inexcusable from one of the highest office in the land. Remember something. When in doubt, and you're going to say something extremely stupid that you can't take back, keep your mouth shut. Keep your fingers closed. Don't get this out and put it all over social media like she did. Just be quiet. If you're stupid and you're silent, nobody can know. But if you're stupid and you vocalize it to the world, cat's out of the bag. Just keep that in mind. That's one of the more despicable things I've heard, especially disappointing from someone from her office. Enough said about that. Let me get back to the mailbag. All righty. Boy, I got a good one here. Allison from Dawsonville, Georgia. I don't like my daughter's new boyfriend. What do I do? Well, you didn't give me an age, so I'm going to take this as being over 18. What can you do? If someone chooses to date someone, why did they choose to date them? My in-laws don't like me. Look at me. I don't look like my wife. I'm a really nice guy. I'm ordained. I'm an upstanding citizen. Okay, sometimes the book and the cover don't always match. What's inside the book doesn't match the cover. And the fact that I'm probably a different cover for most. She didn't specifically say, I'm going to take this as what most parents tell me. It's not the looks. It's how he acts. We as parents have a job. When our children are in our home, we have to teach them what they deserve from the world. The world's never going to raise your self-esteem. The world's only going to be your enemy. What people think about you is none of your business. You don't ever want to take someone's opinion of you and put it between your ears. So as a parent, we have to teach our children that they have to build their own self-esteem through self-discipline. They have to be competent as people. We have to model those competencies through us by building our kids up, not artificially, but when they do something good, let them know. When they do something bad, discipline that part of that, but make sure it's fair. But let our kids know that you're loved, God loves you, created for with a purpose, plan, direction. God's got something special for you. Hold them to a criteria of expectations. But let them know that if God created you, you're special, and you deserve to be treated in the following ways. And if someone's not going to display those behaviors to you, move on down the road. A low self-esteem combined with a bad person spells a bad outcome. See it all the time. Where's our teenage pregnancy in the black community right now? Over 70%. White community, over 55%. Latin community, over 60%. People don't just go out and have children because they have a high self-esteem, they understand who they are, and they understand their purpose, plan, direction. They go out and have children out of wedlock, at those rates because they don't have a concept of who they are, why God created them, and what they're going to do the rest of their lives. And now we've created this really vicious circle of really bad outcomes within all three of those areas. So I say, you don't like your daughter's boyfriend. Why? I'll take it it's because of his behavior. We raise our kids, if we raise our kids, to understand who they are and what they deserve, and only limit it to that. If you don't treat me the way I deserve to be treated, we're done. Because I love myself too much to be treated that way by you. If we can get that across to our kids, we don't have to sit down and go, I don't really like my daughter's boyfriend, other than the dude's got too long a hair and he wears earrings that are weird. Or he's got too many tats. All right, now we're talking about physical. I've never looked at it that way. I didn't really care what you looked like physically. If you took care of my child, if you loved my child, if my child loved you, if you guys were a mix, if I understood that God had picked you for my child, who cares? I've dated every single race. I've dated everything size. We went over why men like bigger women. I didn't care. I took you for face value, who you were. Who you were trumped anything else. And normally I happened to marry a white girl. That was not the script. I didn't care. I wanted to marry the person that God had chosen for me that I could love. Same thing here. So Mom, if this is something to do with your daughter, and it's because he's cruel to her, that's the deficiency on your part as a parent. I'm not teaching her because she's going to role model whatever she saw from you. Moms understand this and dads too. If you allow a boyfriend or a husband or a wife to mistreat you, what do you think your kids are going to do? Kids only see what we do. Kids will mirror the behaviors that they see us display. So if they're raised in an environment of abuse, if they are raised in an environment of screaming, hollering, no love, all they see is anger, what do you think they're going to mirror when they get out of there? Even though we leave those environments. I say we because I was in that environment also. We leave those environments saying, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm definitely not going to do that, I'm not going to be my parents. But then the programming kicks in. A computer can say all day, I'm not going to run this program, I'm not going to run this program, I refuse to run this program. But it's the only program that's been programmed into their hard drive. What are they going to run? That program. We can say all day that we don't want to run a certain program as people. But if that's what's been programmed into us throughout our lives as a child, we're going to run that program till we install a new program. We will run a script that somebody has written for us. Chances are it's our parents. So, Allison, take heart. It can change. Let me get to one more question. Lacey from Roswell, Georgia. She wants to know, she's acknowledged that I write books, and she wants to know how to get published. Heck, you can go online right now and publish your own book. I've got a feeling, though, she's asking about how to get a publisher. Make sure your material is protected. So you can actually look this up on Google or whatever engine you want to use to look up how to protect your intellectual property as far as writing. And I'm not an attorney, so I don't give out legal advice. Jason Webb can, the gentleman I mentioned earlier. Just make sure, before you get to that publisher, let a couple friends breeze through this. Here's why. Is the book any good? Would anybody read it? I always ask people, and they seem to get insulted, would anybody read this? And people say, I got a story to tell. That's great. Would anybody read your story? Because if they wouldn't read your story, don't finish. There's a lot of hoops to jump through before you get to that publisher. So make sure it's of interest. If it is of interest, stay with it. My friend Shellie Pickens, she gave me her manuscript years ago. Now she's on book 3, trying to get this made into a movie. And the books are fabulous. They sell. They're flying off the shelves. And when I read it, I was like, wow, this is something powerful. Once you get past that powerful hoop, you can send me an email, questions@scotferrell.com, and I can recommend some publishers. I don't like to do them in this forum because my friends don't want me giving out their information because they are publishers, and my own publisher, I have not cleared with him to go ahead and acknowledge that he exists. So send me your info, Lacey, and then we'll make sure you get connected with a publisher. The major publishing houses now, tougher to get into. People are self-publishing. The publishing industry is kind of like the radio business, TV business, music business. It has changed drastically in the last few years. And it's a whole different animal now. But Lacey, thank you so much for asking. I've got a new book coming out soon. It's great because once you get in, and once you get that first publishing book, and I got my first bestseller 9 or 10 years ago. It's a great feeling. So Lacey, stay with it. Don't forget Shellie Hunt's coming up. She is the CEO of Success is by Design, and she's also the CEO and founder of Women of Global Change. If you've ever wondered how to brand something and make sure it gets to the marketplace the right way, on time, the way people need to see it, Shellie is the one to see. Also, if you've been looking for a project somewhere in the world to help women of Global Change is where she's going to take you. Again, Shellie Hunt's going to be my guest coming up. You don't want to miss this. If you have a question for me and Shellie, 706-889-9700. I'm Scott Ferrell, and I'll be right back.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Elijah. Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Elijah. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The summer sell-down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell-down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Welcome back, Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for being part of my day. As I promised, I am delivering one of the coolest people on the planet on the line right now. Her name is Shellie Hunt. You've seen her on CNN, Fox. You've seen her on my shows. The Key. Are you kidding me? My show's the important one. No, really, she is one of the top branding experts in the world, and she runs one of the coolest organizations in the world, Women of Global Change. When we talk change, we talk global, we talk women, and we talk action. We're talking Shellie Hunt. Shellie, thank you so much for being part of the show today.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you again.
All right, I want to hit Women of Global Change first because you guys, and the website is womenofglobalchange.org, correct?
.com.
.com.
Or .org.
Okay, womenofglobalchange.com. My computer just went, so I couldn't see it. Y'all just took your annual trip. Where did you go, and what was the purpose of the trip?
Actually, we just went to the Yucatan. We travel all over the world, but we went to the Yucatan. We do an international summit, and we network with like-minded people, people that are top in their industry, and we play together, we work together, we see the world together, and then we serve together. I believe that those that serve succeed, and so we went into, we spent a day actually going into an elementary school and kindergarten and revamping it. They had 3 classrooms. Their library was barren, and so we brought in supplies, we brought in manpower, we revamped everything, worked with the principal, and then one of the other things that we are doing is we also are fixing up their library and giving them a tent because they fear the weather.
Right.
The weather is extremely hot there. So, we've done infant care unit centers in Honduras. We've done orphanages in Egypt. We literally travel the world to wherever we're called.
Man, I saw the photos. If you want to go by Shellie's page, it's Shellie Hunt on Facebook. You can see all the photos, or you can go by womenofglobalchange.com. Shellie, how do people get involved? How if I'm a male, or trust me, you can bring men, right?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Men play with us also, even though it's the Women of Global Change. And it's so funny because people say, why don't you call it the Citizens? You have men and women, and
right.
It's about 50-50. But it started out with Women of Global Change just because I was taking vacation, and I literally would just, everyone would say, well, what are you doing? I'm going jet skiing, I'm going sightseeing, I'm doing this. And I said, I'm going to an orphanage. And the next thing I knew, people were going with me. But how you can get involved is you can go to the website. You can see we have local chapters that are springing up all over the United States, which is really exciting here in the United States. And then you can also go to the International Summit and apply to go to the International Summit. And, one of the things that comes out of the International Summit, we only do it once a year, but one of the things that comes out of it is really intensified business networks. So if you really want to be able to grow your business globally, nationally, internationally, it's the place to go.
Right. Yeah, I was supposed to come this year. I'm sorry. I promise I'll come next year. But you guys grow businesses, but you also have a lot of fun. Man, those pictures look like you guys are having way more fun than I normally have on a vacation.
Oh my gosh, Scott, we have a blast. We went into Tulum. We saw the pyramids of Tulum. We, get in with the locals. What else did we do? Oh, we did an underwater river cave. How cool is that? It's like an underwater cave that had stalagmites that were millions of years old that you just put on a life jacket and the current just takes you. You don't even have to swim. It was a once in a lifetime journey. And that's what's really cool about it. I think if you're going to work, you work full out. I think if you're going to, do business, then you want like-minded people that are high-caliber players in all different industries to be able to hang out with.
Oh, yeah.
I love hanging out with people that are just absolutely brilliant. That's why I hang out with you. I do. But it's true, right? And so I love hanging out with high-caliber players. It makes me better. And I get to network, we've got people in Hong Kong, we've got people in Australia, we have people in South America, we have people in Canada, we have people all over the place that when you actually call them, they pick up the phone because that you've actually been, on the ground with them, and they see that you're like-minded and of service.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and we have a blast, though. I mean, literally, I always say you'll leave with a bigger view of yourself, your business, and the world. And we are such a global world right now. It is so important for us to be able to, take our gifts, our services, our talents, our products out to the world in a bigger way.
Yeah, I got the emails. Hey, dude, you should have been there. I don't know why you weren't there. Where are you going? So next year, how can people get involved? They can go to womenofglobalchange.com. Also, do you have meetings around the United States and around the world?
Absolutely. We have chapters all over the place. They can get involved in a chapter. They can become a member online. They can come and join us at the International Summit, and just apply for that, because we keep it to about, this is the first year we're actually blowing it out. We usually keep it to about 50 to 65 people. Next year we're actually, because of the demand, and we have a youth initiative that goes on, because of the demand, we're kind of opening the doors a little bit more to probably about 80. But I'll tell you, the youth initiative, this is the first year that we launched our WGC Youth Initiative. And to see 8-year-olds, if they go to my Facebook page, they'll see, or the Women of Global Change Facebook page, or womenofglobalchange.com, they'll see 8-year-olds, 11-year-olds who are learning ROI. They're learning return on investment. They're learning how to start their own businesses. Their presentation of their businesses. I was on the side with tears in my eyes, because that they get the idea of, doing business out there in the world is incredible to me, and that their ideas are valuable, and that, the things that they come up with is incredible. And then the other thing is they serve with us. So when we do our service projects, they're with us on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And it truly is, even for teenagers, it's life-changing to be able to see those kids or those people who have so little, but yet, they're just so kind to each other, and the way that they operate, and for us to be able to serve and make a difference is life-changing.
Oh, yeah, and you've got one of those in your home, one of those kids. Well, we got to call her a young adult now, I guess. Cheyenne, your daughter. Cheyenne's a big part of this, and she's been there since the start. How cool is it to have your daughter with you?
It's absolutely very humbling and amazing. It is one of those things that when you see, kind of the next generation coming in, it's, I just wonder what she's going to create in the world. And I had no expectations. I was like, as long as you're a kind and loving person, you can do whatever you want. I'll be supportive of it.
There you go. And she is. The most fun I've ever had doing a TV show, including my own, was the one that you and I shot with Cheyenne in L.A. That was so much fun, just hanging out with her and listening to her talk. And you and I are the same age, so we get to look back at our kids and look at them and go, wow, it's amazing.
That's right. I love it. I know. We're going to have you come back and film on the show again.
It's so much fun being on y'all's set. And you guys have got to come out and join us here in the Atlanta area. Let me go ahead and give you this website, Success is by Design. We're going to get to that. Don't worry.com, successisbydesign.com. We have been discussing womenofglobalchange.com. Shellie, we got, I want to keep you around for one more segment. We've got about a minute left in this one. It's a membership per year for Women of Global Change, and then you get all the information. Is that correct?
That is correct. Absolutely. And, if you decide that you want to come play locally or you want to come play internationally, for business, for network, and for like-minded individuals, it's priceless. It's incredible. And so, I really do invite everybody. I mean, right now the world is in need of our leadership, and I always joke about it, but I'm very serious where I say, you're a citizen of global change, and you're the change the world is waiting for. And so I think that the more leaders that we can uplift, join together, the more we can make a difference on the face of this planet, and it's part of what I'm all about.
Now, do you have next year's trip planned out? Do you know where you're going?
I do. We are actually going into Jamaica.
Oh,
we
sweet.
will be in Jamaica June 25th.
All right, I got to put that on my calendar so I can make sure I don't miss this one.
Absolutely. You and Patricia. I love your wife.
I was looking on Facebook going, wow, I wish I was there. That's all my friends. I know everybody in these photos, and I'm not there with them.
That's right.
All right, so I'll have to have a guest come in and do my show. Maybe I can get LJ, my producer, to do my show next year at this time. I'll take a week off. All right, Shellie Hunt is my guest. That beautiful photo you see on the screen right there is Shellie. Let me go ahead and give you your website so you can look up what Shellie does, how she can help your company, and how Women of Global Change can help not only change your life, but someone else's. Success is by design, one website for Shellie, and womenofglobalchange.com. I'm going to keep Shellie around for another segment. We're going to talk business. We're going to talk success and how her life can impact yours. I'm Scott Ferrell. She's Shellie Hunt. We'll be right back.
The 50-50 sale is back at Shattenkirk Ford. 50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours. Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95. And there's several more on the lot just like it. Yes, 50 trucks must go. And not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models. You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings. Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Shattenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at ShattenkirkFordJasper.com.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
El Rey and Elijah.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Elijah.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Elijah. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. And if you like to save, the time is now. Get a brand new Chevy Malibu for just $19,700. Loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, just $33,500. Or a new 2017 Equinox from just $23,700. Days has bonus savings on every new Chevy. But time is running out. Don't miss the summer sell down at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
back, Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for taking part of your day to spend some time with me and my guest, Shellie Hunt. Now, you've seen her on VH1, CBS, CNN, Forbes, ABC News, USA Today, and VH1, just to name a few. What's her deal? She's one of the top branding experts in the world, not the U.S., but in the world. She's been with me for one segment. We talked about women of global change. Now I want to talk about what she can do for you and your company. Shellie, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
All right, Shellie, you've helped my career, and you're one of my closest friends, so that's out on the table. So, yes, I am a homer. I love you deeply. But I think you're one of the best at what you do, and so do Gene Simmons, Bob Proctor, Les Brown. I can keep going on with that list. Shellie, what is it about a brand, and I get this asked all the time of me, why is my brand so important?
Well, your brand is important because that is your face out into the world. And you really want it to coincide and speak volumes before they have ever, met you as a person. The brand should be developed so that it can be a separate entity. In other words, a sellable entity. And many people start out their companies and they go, but this is my baby. I'm not selling this right now. I understand that, but you always want to be able to produce it so that in the future it's legacy. Because why do we do business? We do business to be able to free us from the chains that bind us, not so we're bound by the chains of a business. So we want the business to be self-sufficient, we want it to be self-functioning, and that a brand and a face out into the world becomes a valuable entity on its own. And it's one of the things that is very, very, very important. You should have that from the very start, the very gate coming out. I've had people that do brands and it doesn't even match what they're doing, and you're like, what is that? And then the other thing is, who is your target market? When people say, oh, everybody. Well, when I branded Huggies for, they were under Kleenex, and it was Kimberly-Clark. And they came to me with this product and said, this product isn't selling, we don't know what to do with it. Well, it's called Kleenex diapers. That's not going to work, right? So what is the target market that you're looking for, right? And so you need to know your target market. Don't just say, everybody in the world can use my product or my services. That's great. Everybody in the world wants to use them, but when we're talking brand and we're talking marketing and we're talking the face of what you're doing, we want to be able to communicate that right out of the gate. And so it's very important to be able to label that. You mentioned some of the people I've worked with, from Gene Simmons to Bob Proctor to on and on, VH1. So it's very important that you're able to have that label out there.
Now, I know people are going to ask me this, and it's already been mentioned, so I got to ask you. What was it like to work with Gene?
Good man. Very good man. I've worked with a lot of musicians that are very famous musicians. I've worked with very famous corporations, a lot of Fortune companies. I've worked with, it's very interesting. When you talk about Gene, he's an impeccable businessman.
Yeah.
Impeccable businessman. And it's so funny because you see, some of these people out there, whether they have snakes on them or they got their faces painted or whatever. And the smart ones, and this applies to any industry, never get lost in ego and always keep their eye on the ball of why they're doing what they're doing. And he was very smart about what we're talking about right now, which is that is a separate entity from who he is.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
As a person, as a man in his home, as a businessman, there was a separate entity that became part of KISS, or that became part of the businessman that went on to, because he was one of the few in that group that really was just a savvy businessman.
Yeah.
Savvy. Brilliant businessman who said, okay, when I step back, now I have this over here, so he created different, businesses off of it, which was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Not bad for a guy who came from less than nothing to be able to do this. Didn't speak English, His story is actually incredible. And now, and leading up to yours, you didn't exactly start out with a silver spoon in your mouth. You started out, ended up meeting a guy named Bob Proctor, and then your life got to change. What was it like being around Bob as a kid?
You know, it was very freeing in some ways.
Right.
He understood some of the questions that I asked, and I think that, you know, we have an influence on children more than we know. And he had an influence on me as far as really being able to understand, one, humanitarian work and really being a leader out there in the world. Two, to be able to understand my mindset around money, around the people that I'm around. Like, some people get really intimidated being around people that are highly successful.
Right.
I was always taught and loved it. It was a great gift that, hey, if I was like near the bottom of the food chain of business brilliance, of the people that I'm around, I became better, quicker, faster. I learned and absorbed and just was very open and coachable. And I think, you know, you can be a big fish in a little fish bowl, or you can be a, you know, whatever kind of fish out in the ocean. And
Right.
I think that that's where you want to play, is out there in the world. It's one of the reasons I started the Women of Global Change, too. It wasn't just for the humanitarian work, but it was also because I wanted people to be able to touch people that are top in their industry, to be able to get in there and expand and grow exponentially. That, to me, is invaluable. You know, because so many times you try to do it on your own. You're on the sidelines. You're plugging away. You're trying to learn what you need to learn. And, you know, being around somebody like that, it was kind of like, well, what, you know, I remember one day I just failed miserably, just failed at this business and idea I was trying, and I just failed. I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And I called Bob, and he was like, yeah, so? And I was like, but you don't understand, you know, I had this idea, and I thought it was going to work. And he goes, yeah, so? And I was like, well, what the heck does that mean? He's like, yeah, well, we've all done that. That's what you know. And so it's, am I going to concentrate on the failure, or am I going to concentrate on the successes, the parts that work right? Because so many times we hone in on the failure, and it's one of the things I learned from him, and there's many other things I learned from him, but to hone in on the failure, we stop, we dwell on it. This is all the crap that went wrong. Oh my gosh. You know, instead of, wow, I had 3 successes and 8 failures. Got it. Okay. Now what?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah. And so many times we just stop in our tracks and people give up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you and I both spend time working with our clients to get them to stop that. We've got about 2.5 minutes left. If you're talking to a group of college kids right now, let's say they're Cheyenne's age, 19 to 22, what would you tell them is the most important thing when beginning their journey as far as having a company?
Well, I think one of the first things is your ideas are valuable. Know that you are a different generation that is technology savvy, that actually has reach out into the global world. And find a mentor, a man or a woman, I don't care, but find a mentor. Find somebody that, you know, you gel with, not just what has what you want, but somebody that you resonate with, somebody that you have a intuitive connection with and an attraction to. Okay, so, you know, yes, they've achieved some things that you want, but also that you have an intuitive sense. Because one of the things when you brought up Bob, or, you know, if I was going to give some young girls this advice, I would say, you know, they will teach you not only the upside and how to win, but they'll teach you how to avoid some of the mistakes.
Right.
And that is invaluable, you know, because so many times we go after the wins. How did you win? Well, how did you avoid some of those pitfalls is what I want to know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, I would find a mentor. I would, you know, find someone that you want to work with. The other thing is you're global. and they know it. At that, those ages know it. You are global. When you take an idea and you see an idea that you have that's called forth from you, think of it in a bigger way, a bigger umbrella. If it's children you love and you say, I want to start a home, a children's home that helps little kids, I'm just giving an example, and it helps little kids. Well, instead of thinking, I just want to start it in my town, I challenge you, I invite you, think of it, I want to do this around the world so that kids can have a place to sleep all across the United States that don't have a place to sleep, or internationally. World Vision is a great company for that, because then there's some others. For example, it didn't start with it started with a seed, but then the vision was a forest. So take your vision larger than life. You can scale it down to start it out and plant the seed. But the vision that you hold on your ideas, bring the umbrella bigger and bigger and bigger.
All right, she is Shellie Hunt. Shellie, thank you so much for coming by today.
You are more than welcome.
All right, Success is by Design or womenofglobalchange.com. Throw a .com on both of those, and you've got Shellie Hunt and what she can bring to your life. I'm Scott Ferrell. She's Shellie Hunt. I'll be right back.